welcome to the film discussion. First question, what genre do you like the best? Comedy, thriller, science fiction, etc.
Comedy.
Oh,
Comedy.
I like comedy as myself. Special effects, are they important? Exciting, silly, boring, etc.
Important.
I think they are exciting and important if they are done right. If the film is high budget.
Yeah, they're important, but sometimes they can be a little bit silly, just a little bit. But they're never boring. Well, next question. Actors, your favorites? Is it better if they are well known? Are they important? Do you have to be good looking?
It doesn't matter if the actors are well known or look good, but that's depressed on what the movie it is.
It's better if they're well known, because if they're well known, they are much likely to have a higher skill level of acting. They're probably much better than acting than somebody from some random person from the streets, and they don't have to be good looking.
Well, they don't have to be good looking, but if they do a good job, I don't care. Well known, then the movie might get a little bit bigger. Yeah. Pie's father teaches Pie a lesson about survival by making his children watch when the tiger Richard Parker eats a goat. Do you think this is a good way to teach your children about survival? Why? Did the lesson prepare Pie for his coming experience?
It is a good way to learn of survival. That lad.
It was important for Pie to see this, so that he doesn't think that the tiger is his friend, because it isn't this. It's gonna kill him if he's not careful. And when he was surviving on the boat, the fear of the tiger kept him alert, and if he hadn't learned that lesson when the tiger ate the goat thing, he probably would have thought that the tiger would just be like another human being.
Yes, but it helped him a lot by being alerted. It's not your friend. It's gonna eat you if it gets its chance. Next, I says that Richard Parker helped to keep him alive when he was at sea. In what way did the tiger help Pie to survive?
He was always scared of Richard Parker.
Just like I said in the last question, is that the fear of Richard Parker kept Pie alert and kept his... It kept him alert and helped him survive.
It kept him aware of what would happen if he failed to survive. Richard Parker would eat him alive. When Richard Parker jumps into the water, he cannot get back on the boat. Pie considers leaving him, but eventually he helps the tiger to get back in the boat. Why does Pie do this? What would you have done?
Because Pie loves Richard Parker, even if Pie is scared of him. I would do the same because I don't want to kill animals. And if I had to kill the tiger, I'm gonna be alone on the boat in the middle of the sea.
Pie helps him up because he understands that the tiger almost has... He doesn't really have the same right to be on the boat, but he still has the right to survive, and Pie respects that, so he helped him on the boat, and he knew that the tiger kept him alert, his senses in check. So the senses would play a big role if he would just leave Richard Parker in the water, and I think I would have helped the tiger up too, because I know that if the tiger is not on the boat, I'm gonna go almost insane because I have nothing to think about. I'm completely lonely. I have nothing to think about and no one to be with.
Yeah, I would probably help him up out of the water because he helped him. He helped me. Helped Pi to stay alive. So that's probably why he picked him up eventually. Message. Does the film have a message? If so, what is it? All movies have a message. It is.
The movie want to show us that God is with you all the time.
I think the message is that even in a situation where you think you will never make it or you will never survive, you should never lose hope. And I don't think all movies needs to have a message.
Well, it's probably about not losing hope. Like, even if it's really hard, just keep on going. And I don't think every single movie needs a message. When Pi tells his story to the Japanese people at the hospital, he tells a different story to make them believe him. Which story do you think is true and why? Which of the animals would Pi have been?
The first story was a true story and Pi was a tiger.
I think the first story with the animals is the real one because it seems a little bit absurd to have an angry sailor going insane on your boat with some like incredible survival skills. I definitely think that that Pi would have been a tiger because the tiger had all the control over the other animals because they feared the tiger. Say the same way that Pi controls almost tames or whatever you should say Richard Parker to not risk his life getting on the boat for food every time, every day.
I think the first story is the true one with animals. And which of the animals would probably be, he would probably be the tiger. Yeah. Next question. What I think it's true is like the second story is like unbelievable. And next question is the end of the movie. Is it important? Do you like when it's happy, sad, open, strange, etc.?
A movie can't have a bad end. A movie that has a bad end is a really bad movie. The movie have to be good end.
I think the ending is important, and I like to have strange endings if it's a good movie, but because then you know it's gonna be a sequel, and if it's a movie like Hunger Games, where everyone knows it's a good series, and it's one of the few movie series that actually kept its quality and you know, kept its quality through all the films. So whenever it ends strangely, you know that there's gonna be another movie, which is a good thing because you know that all the other Hunger Game movies are very good. But if you know that there's not gonna be a sequel like in a Disney movie, where there usually isn't a sequel, then I think that a mix between sad and happy, maybe there are two main characters and maybe one of them like dies or something and the other one goes on to live a better life. I think that's a good ending, for example, but I also like just straight up happy endings.
Well, endings are, of course, important. I like it to have a little bit strange, but of course, when it's also funny when it's happy one. Yeah, and that's it for us.